Hello and welcome to God's Hand Link, Decode Occult Science. On November 29, 2025, Hong Kong began a period of official mourning following one of the deadliest disasters in its modern history: the mass apartment fires. The tragedy, which began on November 26, 2025, at the sprawling Wong Fuk Court public housing complex in the Tai Po district, saw a fire ignite on temporary bamboo scaffolding and rapidly engulf 7 of the 8 high-rise towers. The human impact is horrific. The confirmed death toll stands at 128 fatalities, including 1 dedicated firefighter killed in the line of duty. At least 79 people were injured, including 12 firefighters, and approximately 200 residents remain unaccounted for, as forensic teams continue the meticulous search of the nearly 2,000 units. Preliminary investigations found the fire spread rapidly due to highly flammable foam panels and non-compliant netting used during external renovation works. Furthermore, fire officials confirmed that alarm systems in all 8 buildings were malfunctioning at the time of the blaze, leaving residents without warning. Authorities have arrested a total of 11 individuals, including construction directors and consultants, on suspicion of manslaughter and gross negligence related to the use of substandard materials. This is more than just an apartment fire. This is one of the times on God's doomsday. So, today, let's pray for Hong Kong apartment fires 2025. Praying for the good people affected by apartment fires in Hong Kong to overcome their destiny situation. The following are details about Hong Kong apartment fires 2025. Presented in 5 parts. First, evolution. Second, effects. Third, causes. Fourth, solution. And fifth, manual. The last 2 parts will guide you on how to click the pray button on the godchand.link website. If you pray sincerely, you will be able to open God's gate to successfully connect with God and receive God's beatitude to successfully help the people you are praying for. Now, let's take a look at the evolution of apartment fires in Hong Kong. Evolution. The catastrophe began on the afternoon of November 26, 2025, when a fire ignited on the bamboo scaffolding of one high-rise tower. Due to the presence of highly flammable materials used in external renovation, the fire spread horizontally and vertically, quickly consuming 7 of the 8 residential blocks within the first few hours. Initial emergency response efforts were immediately hampered by the confirmed malfunction of fire alarm systems across all affected blocks, leaving residents without warning. The early hours of November 27 marked the peak of the blaze, requiring a massive response from the Fire Services Department, tragically resulting in the death of 1 firefighter and injuries to 12 others during rescue attempts. By November 28, the Hong Kong government officially launched a full independent inquiry into the renovation project's safety and the oversight of the Public Housing Authority. This was followed by the rapid announcement of numerous arrests. On November 29, authorities confirmed the arrest of a total of 11 individuals, including senior personnel from the construction and consulting firms involved in the non-compliant renovations, on suspicion of gross negligence. On the same day, the government commenced a 3-day period of official mourning for the victims, while forensic teams continue the meticulous search for those still missing within the severely damaged towers, bringing the investigation into its critical phase. Effects. Human and immediate casualties. The fire is the deadliest in Hong Kong since 1948, inflicting massive loss of life. Fatalities. The confirmed death toll stands at 128 individuals, including 1 dedicated firefighter killed in the line of duty. Most victims succumbed to smoke inhalation due to the rapid spread of toxic fumes through stairwells. Injuries. At least 79 people were injured, including 12 firefighters who suffered from smoke inhalation and burns while assisting in rescue operations. Missing people. Approximately 200 residents remain unaccounted for as of November 30, with forensic teams continuing the difficult search operation within the severely damaged structures. Displacement. Hundreds of families were instantly rendered homeless, requiring mass emergency rehousing and psychological support from the government and local aid organizations. Political and regulatory fallout. The disaster immediately escalated into a major political crisis for the Hong Kong government. Full independent inquiry. The government was forced to immediately launch a full independent inquiry, focusing on failures in the Public Housing Authority's oversight of renovation projects, the use of flammable materials, and the inspection, maintenance regime for fire safety systems. Criminal investigation and arrests. A criminal investigation was launched, resulting in the arrest of 11 individuals, including senior staff from the construction and consulting firms responsible for the renovation. The charges relate to manslaughter and gross negligence over the use of substandard and highly flammable materials. National mourning. Hong Kong entered a 3-day period of official mourning, beginning November 29, demonstrating the severity and national scale of the tragedy. Infrastructure and social stress. The incident placed immediate stress on public services and infrastructure. Destruction of public housing. 7 of the 8 high-rise towers at the Wong Fuk Court complex were severely damaged or deemed structurally unsound. This represents a significant loss of public housing units in a city already grappling with housing scarcity. Review of aging infrastructure. The fires catalyzed urgent public demand for a thorough review and immediate legislative action concerning the fire safety compliance and maintenance of all aging residential buildings across the territory, particularly older public housing estates built in the 1960s and 70s. Public trust. The tragedy severely eroded public trust in the Public Housing Authority, HKHA, and the government's ability to ensure the safety of its citizens, especially those residing in public housing. Causes. Immediate cause: flammable materials and rapid spread. The disaster began with a fire on the bamboo scaffolding used for external renovation. The blaze spread instantly across 7 towers due to highly flammable foam panels and netting that violated safety codes. These materials created an external wick, rapidly bypassing the building's fire-resistant concrete structures. Critical failure of safety systems. The massive casualty count resulted from crucial safety failures. Fire alarm systems in all 8 residential blocks were non-functional, eliminating warning time. The fire subsequently turned central stairwells into deadly smoke-filled chimneys because internal fire barriers failed, compounded by clutter and debris obstructing escape routes. Systemic negligence and regulatory failure. The tragedy highlights a failure in regulatory oversight, leading to immediate criminal action. Authorities have arrested 11 individuals, construction staff and consultants, on suspicion of manslaughter and gross negligence for approving the substandard materials. The systematic failure of alarm maintenance across multiple blocks points to a long-term breakdown in the Public Housing Authority's enforcement regime. Above is a detailed summary of the causes behind apartment fires in Hong Kong in 2025, as reported by news sources. But if the main cause is God's doomsday, what should we do? Solution. Solve by a reform prayer in Pray God's Will page at https://godshand.link/pray-God's-will. Address, with a phrase search as Hong Kong Apartment Fires 2025. Praying for the good people affected by apartment fires in Hong Kong to overcome their destiny situation. And click Pray button. Here, you can also scroll up and click on this video to see details about God's supreme message. Follow God's doomsday to pray God's will. Manual. For more information about how to pray on the God's Hand Link website, please refer to Pray God's Will user manual page at https://godshand.link/Pray God's Will user manual. Address. By clicking the Pray button, you have contributed to helping the good people who are victims of this catastrophic apartment fire. Your small acts of kindness are like seeds that can grow into a forest of compassion and love. Helping others is not only about material support but also about spiritual support. Because the material originates from intention, a prayerful intention of yours will bring about the transformation of the material world, according to God's will. Thank you for helping. God's hand link. Thanks for helping. To decode occult science,